Hi, this is Suzanne Williams with Essential Oils, Health Matters, and Living the Wholesome Life. And we are on week 22, day 4 of our positive, peaceful affirmations that we are doing every day, Monday through Friday. We are following Dr. Susan Lawton's book, Positive, Peaceful Growth Calendar, that you can buy at Aroma Tools or Oil Life. And if you love positive affirmations and you love music therapy, if you love aromatherapy and essential oils, it's going to be the perfect book for you. I just can't recommend it highly enough. So the affirmation for today, the affirmation for the whole entire week is I listen effectively. And do you have something that, like, a reoccurring thought? Do you have a reoccurring dream? Um, Maybe it's time today to sit, if you do, maybe it's time to sit down and think, what is this thought? Do I think um, do I think I'm being inspired to do something? Or is it a reoccurring positive thought, a negative thought? Is it something that I need to address? I guess I'll just say it that way. Is it something that I need to address, this reoccurring thought? Would it make my life better if I addressed this thought? So let's listen to those thoughts that we're getting over and over again. Now we might get some negative thoughts over and over again too. And those negative thoughts I don't think come from God. So if you get those thoughts that you are ugly, that you are dumb, that you are not enough, that you are, the list could go on and on and on negative thoughts. If you get those negative thoughts, like, let's listen to them for a minute. Let's kind of do a pause in our life. Let's say, why am I thinking that? Is this what I think God thinks of me? Is this what I think? Because I'm just going to tell you that God's not going to tell you that you're ugly or dumb. Okay, He's not going to tell you that. So, he speaks in reassuring ways a lot of times. So, or most of the time, or maybe even all the time. Anyway, he what he says is edifying to us, even when he says, "Hey, you might want to change this." What he says is edifying to us. So, if you're having those recurring thoughts, let's get to the bottom of those thoughts too, and let's think of where did they first start. Was it back in kindergarten when someone on the playground called me ugly or stupid, or I didn't get picked for whatever group, and so we felt less than or stupid? Let's listen to the thoughts and let's address them. And if there's something that we need to address and do, let's run with it. And if it's something, or let's game plan it. Maybe we don't want to run. Maybe we want to baby step to it, whatever. But if it's something that we need to address, let's do it. And if it is something that we need to address the other way, that, hey, these negative thoughts that keep popping into my head, you don't serve me. So you need to stop. Okay? And let's address both things. Anyway, so the affirmation for the entire week is I listen effectively. And who do we want to listen to? Like, maybe you can journal, maybe we can all journal about that a little bit today. Who do we really want to be listening to? I know I want to be listening to God. I want to be listening to the prophet and our apostles. If you're a different faith, you'll be wanting to probably listen to the leaders in your faith, right? If we're children, we want to listen to our parents. And even if we're grown-up children, our parents have so much wisdom to share. We want to listen to them. We might not do everything that they suggest, right? Because maybe God is telling us to go a different way. But it's still good to listen to them and value and hear the love that our parents talk to us with. Even if they're talking to us with concern, they're still talking to us out of a deep sense of love, or else they wouldn't be talking to us, right? Okay, so listening to God, listening to the leaders in your church, listening to our parents. Maybe you want to be even listening to our children more. and connecting with them, listening if we're a boss, listening to our employees more, connecting with them, whatever. Who do you want to listen to in your life? Let's just take a pause and kind of see how are we doing listening to these people in our lives. The affirmation, so that's the affirmation for this whole entire week. I listen effectively. The affirmation for today is, I am amazed at how much simpler life is when I listen carefully. Don't you just love that phrase? I'm amazed at how much simpler life is when I listen carefully. I had to think about that. It kind of reminds me of that song, "'Tis a Gift to Be Simple." It's an old Quaker hymn. Anyway, and when we listen, it just makes our life better. Like, have you ever been a student and you're like, oh, what did the teacher say? And when the test comes, it makes your life complicated, right? Or what was I supposed to do on my homework? It makes our lives complicated, right? And if we're not listening to our spouse, it can make our life really a lot less happy than it could be. If we're not listening to our children, it can make our relationships a lot less happy. If we're not listening how to make a recipe or how to fix something in the house that's broken, it can make our life a lot more complicated and just slow down the path to happiness. So maybe as we're journaling today again, we can just pause and write about a few instances where we listened well and our life was good. And then maybe some instances too where we didn't listen well and where our life got complicated and not happy. So, or harder, I'll just say that, harder than it needed to be. So, just thinking about listening today and thinking about just the joy that comes into our lives when we listen and when we follow through on what we've listened to. Okay, that's the affirmation for today. The song that we're pairing for the whole entire week is Calling All Angels by Jane Siberry and J.D. Lang. And the diffuser blend that we are diffusing for the whole week is 2 drops of juniper berry, which is the oil of the night or the unknown, 1 drop of cilantro, which is the oil of releasing control, and 3 drops of lavender, which is the oil of communication. So Tuesday we talked about the emotional benefits of juniper berry. Wednesday we talked about the emotional benefits of cilantro, and today we are going to be talking about the emotional benefits of lavender essential oil. So lavender is one of the very first, like when we first kind of start getting interested or cluing into aromatherapy and essential oils, lavender is one of the ones that most people discover first because it is so gentle and easy to use. Even if you're not into essential oils and aromatherapy, I bet you'll have noticed that there's lavender, the scent of lavender, in so many things. It's used worldwide for its ability to relax. And it's found in Africa, Asia, and Europe. And of course, it's found in America too. I don't know that it grows indigenously here, but it is found here. And sometimes it's called the grandmother of essential oils for the way that it cares for and nurtures us through such a huge variety of physical and emotional issues. So some people kind of like to call it the grandmother of essential oils. Some people like to call it the Swiss Army knife of essential oils, again, because it's used for so many things. There's 2 essential oils that they say, when in doubt, choose one of these. And the first one is frankincense. When in doubt, choose frankincense because it just helps with so many issues. And the other oil that, and they call frankincense the king of oils for that reason. But the other oil that they say that with is lavender. When in doubt, choose lavender, because again, it's so key for so many different issues. And we are not going to be going into the physical issues that it's good for today. We'll be going into that tomorrow when we go into the physical issues of all three of those oils. But today we are going to just be focusing on the emotional gifts that lavender brings. And the first one is, if you've had a stressful day, start diffusing lavender. It is so calming, and like, again, it's just like grandma, right? Now that I'm a grandma, I hope I can be this type of grandma where people just think grandma loves me, and when I'm around grandma, I know everything is going to be okay, right? Just that release of being with someone who that just absolutely loves you and supports you. That's how I want us to all think about lavender essential oil. It is actually good for times of study. Now, if you're super study, like if you're doing some late night studies and you have to get through a ton of material, because you're just cramming for the test, and I hope you're not in that situation, but sometimes we are. And so if you're studying late at night, do not diffuse lavender. It will probably put you to sleep. But if you're studying like at other times, you can definitely be diffusing lavender. It will help you be calm and focused, especially if you are tackling some material that you have some anxiety over, anxiety about learning or remembering. Lavender would help. If I'm going to do a study session, I would definitely pair that with, maybe I'd pair lavender, lemon, and rosemary. Lavender is going to calm you down, release your fears about remembering this stuff. Rosemary is going to help you remember better, and lemon is going to just make it a happier experience for the study. Okay, lavender. Remember how calming it is? It's great for people who have anxiety or depression. You think, okay, depression, they're kind of already kind of at a low, but it calms the fear that things are never going to get better. Okay? So that's why it's good for depression. If I was using lavender with depression, I would definitely be pairing it with wild orange essential oil, which is one of the most uplifting oils. So I would be like calming, yes, we don't need to worry, everything's going to work out fine, and then pairing it with a wild orange for depression. Okay, for nervous tension, it's amazing. For stress, for panic attacks, hysteria, we don't really use that word very much anymore. For emotional and mental fatigue, and it can also help balance mood swings. So sometimes we probably, well, I don't know about you, but sometimes I can definitely go from mood to mood. And so lavender, it can help balance out mood swings. It's great to be using for those who have suffered trauma or abuse. Again, it's super calming, super nurturing, very good in times like that. It also helps us calm down. It's great to use when we're thinking about the concept of love, or when we are having some anxiety with love. Maybe you're wondering if your spouse or your boyfriend, girlfriend, how much do they love me? Do they really love me? You know, or maybe you're contemplating, what do I really want? When it comes to love, what do I really want? Maybe you're getting into bad relationship after bad relationship after bad relationship, and you're like, you're ready to stop that cycle. And so diffusing lavender, one, it can help us feel loved. It can help us just calm down those fears that we're not lovable, and help us, give us space to see the love that is there and the different ways that love is presented. You know, maybe we tend to like the compliments, but someone else is doing things for us. Maybe we tend to like the physical, and someone else is complimenting us, right? We might not be getting love always in the way that best suits our needs, but my best guess is that the love is out there if we can just release our fears and open our eyes to see the love. Okay, we talked about, if you're in bad relationship after bad relationship after bad relationship, lavender too can give you space can calm us down, right? Can give us some space and can help us see that we don't always need to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. It can give us a space to kind of relax that need and see, what do I really want when it comes to love. Um, they were talking about how lavender is not an essential oil if you are a person who just wants a one night stand. It's not going to be the essential oil for you. Lavender is more the essential oil for the person who's really trying to connect with someone, like their spiritual, I don't want to say counterpart, but their spiritual match, their spiritual match, or their match on most of their core essential things. If you're trying to connect with someone on really the core of who you are, and you're trying to find someone else who would love and resonate with that core, so there's not so much discord, right, when you guys are super different, then lavender can help us stop, give us space to think about, what is it that I really want. Lavender can help bring in feelings of love and peacefulness. It can help us it can help us pretty much anytime when we're feeling fearful or restricted. Again, it can calm things down. Let us look, what do I have to be fearful about? And I remember something was happening in my life the other day, and I was getting a little bit concerned about something, and I just remembered that Gordon B. Hinckley quote that says that everything basically works out for those who see and address life in a positive light. Everything really kind of does work out. And I just remember that quote, and I felt my shoulders just go down and just relax. I just felt a relaxation and a peace come, just telling me, hun, this is not something that you need to worry about. Hun is my favorite word to call people, and I feel like when the Spirit speaks to me, sometimes it calls me in my language. Hun, you don't need to worry about this. And I didn't. Yes, I didn't need to worry about it. So it was a very good thing. So it can help us relax our fears. It can also, so sometimes when we're feeling restricted too, it can help release some of that rub that restrictions can sometimes give to us. Like, some people don't like the 10 Commandments, right? They're like, well, why can't I lie? Why can't I be unfaithful? Like why can't I? And lavender is so good when a person's feeling restricted, to say, hey, give us some space. Let's look at these restrictions. Are these things that are really going to help you get where you want to go in life? Are they going to help you to your goals? Are they going to help you to happiness, like eternal happiness? Or are they going to really restrict you? And when we look at it that light, the 10 Commandments are the most freeing things out there, because they free us to live a life of happiness, where we're trustworthy, where we have so many more opportunities given to us because people know that we're honest and we're faithful and we're not going to steal, and we're not going to lie and do all that other stuff. So lavender, again, it can give us the space, the relaxation that we need to look at restrictions in our lives in a different way, so we can see that there really helps instead of hindrances. And maybe you have some restrictions in your life that need to be taken away, right? That you need to work out different compromises with, or different solutions to. Maybe these restrictions really are not serving you well and those around you well. And if that's the point, lavender, again, it can calm those our thoughts down to help us think through things better. So now I want to say something about that, but I'm going to say something else about something else first. So lavender can be seen as an oil of abundance, and and um, it's not. I'm gonna say why I think it's an oil of abundance. Because I feel like a lot of people have fears when it comes to money. Oh, if I get a lot of money, people, I won't be as connected with people. Oh, if I get a lot of money, then I might do morally bad things with it. Or, oh, if I get a lot of money, people who get money are stuck up, and I don't want to be stuck up. And so, a lot of times we have those negative thoughts about money. Now, does everyone who have money, or are they all stuck up? No, no, they're not. And is everyone who has money, a lot of money, or do they all do evil things? No, absolutely not. And so we kind of need to disconnect a lot of those self-defeating beliefs about money that aren't serving us well, and start disconnecting those. And so that we can see, oh, money, that's the thing that does a whole lot of good in the world. If you have money, you can help a whole lot of people. And how many people do I want to help? I want to help as many as I can. So I want as much money as I can so I can help as many people as I can. Right? And so it's all in how you think about money. And lavender, again, it can give us that space and that relaxation to see what are the beliefs about money that really are not serving me. Also, when it comes as when we're talking about lavender being an abundance oil, one other thing that it can do is it can, like, let's say you're working for someone and you're not getting paid what you feel like you need to be paid, or what you deserve to be paid. It can help us relax, think things through, and help us be more confident as we're going into our boss and saying, "Hey, let's do some renegotiation here, because I think I'm very valuable to the company. I would like a pay raise." And I've not really been an employee since I was in my early 20s. Other than that, I've pretty much kind of worked for myself or just been a stay-at-home mom. So I haven't had to see that. So if you guys have tips on going into your boss and asking for pay raises, lay them on us. But again, lavender, it can help you relax and feel confident as you're going to ask for the pay raise. Or maybe you do work for yourself. It can help you relax and be confident and know, yeah, it is, I can take things to the next level. I'm enough. I can take things to the next level. So again, those are some ways that lavender essential oil can be an oil of abundance, and to bring greater abundance into your lives, into all of our lives. Lavender. Okay, so you know that the nickname of lavender is the oil of communication, and this is why I think it is the oil of communication. When a lot of times when we go into conversations, especially conversations that we really care about, like those critical conversations, as some of the books call them, or crucial conversations, whatever you want to say, we can get a little anxious, maybe even a little uptight, thinking, oh, this is so important to me. I hope that the person who's on the receiving end can hear my words, and that we can come to a type of agreement. Anyway, so again, when you're going into those conversations that mean a lot to you, there you can feel a rise in your anxiety, worry, tension, whatever you want to call it, right? Does that service? No, it doesn't. Everyone knows, like all the psychologists and psychiatrists know, that when we are anxious, it gets us out of our logical brain, right? Where we have the compassion and the love and the good thinking ability, and it puts us back here into our fight or flight or freeze brain. And fighting or flighting or freezing don't make good conversations. Okay, so if we want to communicate what we want to communicate better, diffusing lavender, rolling lavender on our heart area, our ears, getting those reflexology points on our ears, on our pulse points could be super important and a game changer to help us best present what we want to present. And then on the opposite side, right, on the hearing side, again, lavender, because communication is listening and talking. Anyway, so it can help the person who's listening be calm and be so much more accepting of what's coming in without getting all defensive, right? So definitely, if you have people that have been tended to be a little bit more defensive in the past, maybe argumentative, maybe just pointing out all the what ifs, right? Again, lavender essential oil can help calm those situations down so that they too get to stay in that logical compassion part of their brain, right? And can hear things with being less judgmental, being more open to see the positives, and so anyway, so I just want to say it can help not only the person who's speaking, but also the person who's hearing. It can move us from a place of judgment to a place of kindness and generosity. So, whether you're an adult, whether you're a child, whether you're an employer, when you're going to those negotiation tables, when you're trying to share what's in your heart, you want to give it the best chance of having some person listen to you with your full intent. Lavender is an amazing oil to use. It can help open us up to spirituality. It can promote faith even in the hard times. It can bring a balance between masculine and feminine energies and traits, and it can stop the fight. It can stop the fight of you're not like me or why aren't you like me? It can stop that fight and help us realize that we're all different and we are all good and we're all made in different ways for a reason. I was just yesterday, so we love going to, Xander and I love going to story time, and we got this book on that had real pictures of fish. Oh my gracious. And there were so many different fish, and some of them were super cute fish. Some of them were like scary monster fish from like the deep, deep oceans, and then we're like, like that would just give you nightmares. But each of these fish were created for a different purpose and a different reason by an all-loving creator. And each of us is created for a different purpose and a different reason with a different mission by our all-loving creator. And we are all awesomely and wonderfully made. And so just lavender, it can help us see people less judgmental and more the way that God might see them. Okay. I guess two things. I wanted to say this about lavender. I'm just going to read to you from this book. Now I'm switching to this book, Essential Emotions, Your Guide to Process, Release, and Live Free. And lavender is just so cool, so I'm just going to read you a little bit about what they say about lavender. Lavender aids verbal communication, calming the mind. Specifically, it calms the insecurities that are felt when one risks their true thoughts and feelings. Lavender addresses a deep fear of being seen and heard. Lavender supports individuals in releasing the tension and constriction that stems from withheld information and expression. This bottleneck in communication can result in worried and racing thoughts, anxiousness, and sleep deprivation. Due to past experiences, they may feel unsafe or fearful about expressing themselves because of potential rejection. You see how lavender can help calm those fears and those worries. So when someone has strong feelings of feeling unlovable or unimportant or unheard, lavender can be a super good oil to help with. Lavender encourages emotional honesty and insists that one speak their innermost thoughts and desires. As individuals learn to communicate their deepest thoughts and feelings, they are liberated from a self-inflicted prison. I love that phrase. It is through open and honest communication that an individual has the potential to experience unconditional love, acceptance, and peace of mind. So I love that, because if we aren't sharing who we are with other people, if we feel like other people don't really know who we are, then even if they love us, we don't feel loved because we don't feel like they know the real us. So if we don't feel like people know the real us, then we need to be the ones that are sharing our real selves more. Okay, lavender, it can help with blocked communication, fear of rejection, feeling constricted or tense, having racing thoughts, being emotionally dishonest. Again, sometimes people are emotionally dishonest because they're afraid of what would happen if they were honest, and lavender can help calm those fears. If a person is hiding, fear of self-disclosure, feeling unseen, unheard or unloved, or insecure. And the positive properties that lavender can bring in is open communication, feeling calm, being willing to be expressive, being emotionally honest, being self-aware, and having peace of mind. So I loved this phrase, and I just wanted to say this at the end of us talking about the gifts of lavender, and it says, lavender can bring a feeling of being totally supported, that we are loved and supported in life's challenges and in the process of healing. Lavender is an amazing, amazing essential oil. Okay, so all that said, just wanted to remind you that, again, our diffuser blend that we're diffusing is 2 drops of juniper berry, which is the oil of the night or the unknown, 1 drop of cilantro, which is the oil of releasing control, and 3 drops of lavender, which is the oil of communication. The song that we are listening today is Calling All Angels by Jane Siberry and J.D. Ling. And I'm just going to say that if we are going into those hard conversations, if we are going into those times where we're communicating and we want to be able to express who we really are and to have it be received at least with openness. Maybe the other person's not going to agree, but at least a feeling of openness and respect, praying to God that His Spirit will be there, the angels will be there to help with the communication, I think is a very good idea to do. And the affirmation for today is, I am amazed at how much simpler life is when I listen carefully. Again, maybe we're journaling about some of those times that we've listened carefully, maybe some of the times where we haven't. And the affirmation for this week is, I listen effectively. Okay, I know that as we listen more carefully, other people will feel more loved. And in return, they will listen more carefully to us. And as this listening and this communication builds, the world is going to be a much happier place. Okay, this is Susanna Williams with Essential Oils, Health Matters, and Living the Wholesome Life, telling us that I know that we have the power in us with God to make it a great day. Bye-bye.